We'll be live now.
Yeah.
And actually, I did my first interview on my YouTube channel before I even knew what podcasts were.
Yeah.
And so
I just learned podcasts from high school. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think because I had a class about doing podcasts. I'm not sure like what is podcast back then. Like that was like what, almost like 9-10 years ago when I was back in high school when they just started doing podcasts.
Yeah.
And we have to learn how to do it and put everything online and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But now like podcast is starting getting popular because people, while you're working now you can just put on your earpiece and you can listen while you work, and you learn at the same time.
It's pretty great, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're 7 years younger than me. So yeah, podcasts weren't a thing when I was in high school, or even when I was in college, they weren't a thing.
Oh, okay.
So
so basically it's like, it's new to you and it's new to me too. It's still new to me because I just enjoy right now, like I enjoy like listening to a lot of
Big
podcasts.
time, yeah.
Just anything relating to life, motivation, inspiration, everything. You just listen to it.
Yeah.
And it's helped change your life a lot in a certain way.
Oh, big time, yeah. A lot of them have.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and do a quick intro. Hey guys, Chris Kennedy here again, and I'm here with my good friend Sambo.
I'm Sambo.
Sambo has his own YouTube channel. I will link it below so you guys can check it out. So Sambo is a martial artist, like a lot of us. And yeah, we're just here to chat about it. So why don't you first tell us what kind of martial arts you train, man?
So I started martial arts back in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So how I got started, everybody, when we was a kid, we just grew up watching a lot of like Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan, all these kung fu movies.
That's what got me into it too.
So we want to be a superhero,
Yeah.
And then one time I was in class, I was doing my projects in a digital media class, and I have a spare time, it was downtime. I just put on YouTube just martial art videos, and Ip Man came up.
Oh man.
And this one clip is.
Ip Man is why I did kung fu. Ip Man made me train Wing Chun. So
yeah,
I love
the same way. So, this one clip is about Ip Man versus 10 karate black belt.
Yeah, great scene.
And I was like, what kind of style is this? And I watch a lot of kung fu movies, but I never know what is the name of the style.
Yeah.
I just watch it. Anything is punching, kicking is. I thought it's all like the same thing to me.
Yeah.
Then I was like, I'm gonna start train myself. Then between 2010 until 2013 and 14, that's when I just self-taught a lot of my Wing Chun martial arts. And when I started college in 2014, that's when I met Sigong Smith.
Bill Smith, yeah.
Yep, the same Sigong that we training under Wing Chun at. Yeah. So from there I just still like training.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna tell the audience. So Sambo and I,
we have a lot of connections.
Yeah, we have a lot of connections on accident, which is pretty cool. So one of those connections is we ended up having the same kung fu teacher. Sifu or Sigong Bill Smith. Mm-hmm. But yes, you trained with him first in the college at Salt Lake Community College. Mm-hmm. That's where I met him
about
too.
like 2 semesters. So
did you take the Wing Chun class from him?
Yeah, the Wing Chun classes, and also when we're doing Wing Chun, and also like we're learning Hung Gar and some.
Did you ever do any Hung Gar with him?
Yeah, some Hung Gar techniques. So he combined everything.
I never did any Hung Gar with him. I only did Tai Chi and Wing Chun with him, but. I want to go visit him in New Mexico, and it'd be cool if he came with me. I don't know when I'll do it though.
So we just have to make plans. So and we can just go together. Yeah. I mean, driving or flying.
Yeah, I don't have the money right now, but I will by the end of next semester.
Because I don't know if Sigong's gonna open up his own school in New Mexico or not.
Do you ever talk to him?
Yeah, he always. I talk to him in email and phone sometimes.
Yeah, I called him a few months ago, but he's just teaching out of his backyard right now. There's like a shed back there.
Yeah, the same as like what he's doing here and how he set up all his gym and his training facilities. Like, it's pretty nice.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
He always has a very nice facility everywhere
and
he's been.
Even like, there's a lot of like a different branch of his school. But there's a lot of students that training under him always want to come back to him. instead of going to his
Yeah.
other senior student that opening up a school.
Yeah.
Because I mean.
Oh yeah, I don't want to train with any of his senior students. I want to train with him.
Yeah. So the same as me. Like even I live far away from his house. Like I live in West Valley and he lived in Lehigh.
Yeah.
I made time like back then. When you was in Cambodia. So I was like every Saturday just heading up. To Lehigh. Just to do my 1 day training, like about like an hour, 2 hours of training. I just have to show myself like dedicated enough to train.
Absolutely.
With Qigong,
Yeah, just so you guys all know, our Qigong, our Sifu, he's a total badass. He was a Green Beret in the Vietnam War, I think it was.
Yep, in the Vietnam War.
Yeah. How old is Qigong now? He's mid-70s, early 70s?
I think around mid-70s.
Yeah.
And when I'm training with him or he's training us, like his arm, his body, it's like an iron. It's like an iron. Like basically like when we do the conditioning and stuff, like my hand is still soft, and when I hit his arm and stuff, like it's so like you're hitting a
like a metal rod. Yeah, his forearms and his shins are.
I think because
so
he conditioning
hard.
all the time,
Yeah, since he was younger than us.
Yeah.
Now he's in his 70s. Yeah. I want to go do one of these interviews with him.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to do a lot of interview with our master or our instructor, because I'm not trying to say like they have like a short life or anything. Just like sometime
Yeah, well, they're older than us,
Yeah, they older than us. We want to get the experience and the philosophy from them, what they've been through and all that.
Yeah.
To help us. It's like guiding us to be better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I want to go do a homeless ninja video with him.
The homeless
where where I go train with him for a month. And I want to learn Hungar from him this time though, because I never trained Hungar.
Yeah. I think Hungar, like I'm really interested like in Hungar too.
I used to not be, but now I am. Now I'm curious about it.
When you look at like this is what Qigong told me. Before the Ip Man movies came out, or the Wing Chun movies, it used to be like Wong Fei Hung. It's all about Hungar.
Yeah. What is Wong? What did you call it? Is that a person?
Yeah, it's a real person back in the 1900s.
Okay.
He fought with a lot of like corrupt government and a lot of like British corruption and stuff, because back in that time, so the British tried to bring all the women.
Was this back in?
I'm not sure, like in certain like the era.
It was in Hong Kong or something. Do you know
it's in China. I think it's in I'm not sure what year, but it's like about a couple hundred years ago. And he's just stand up for his country. And he fought a lot through British and a lot of like opium and all that the Qing corrupt government and all that.
Okay. Yeah. So around the time period of the opium crisis over in China. Yeah.
So he's like one of those folk hero that before he didn't use any guns or anything. He just used his martial arts skill, and he had like a lot of followers.
Yeah.
So
that was the more popular thing.
Yeah, that's one of
Wing Chun.
That's the most popular martial art before Wing Chun came out.
Okay.
So that's why Hungar was popular back then, and when the Wing Chun movies or the Ip Man movies came out, that's when everybody just want to learn Wing Chun instead of Hungar. And Hungar is like one of the Shaolin style that's really difficult to learn, but it's like a badass style too.
Yeah, it's pretty badass style. Yeah, it's very hard style.
Because like the form, like even like the first form of Hungar, it's really complex. It's really unique.
Yeah.
It took you like months of training, but Wing Chun you can learn like the first form like in a couple of weeks.
Pretty quickly.
Like really simple form, just basically like hand movement and stuff like that.
You could learn the first form in a day. It's pretty easy. Yeah.
But Hungar is just like really complex.
It's
and
long too.
Yeah, it's a long form. Like there's so many like section that breaking down just to teach you every movement to do it correctly and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, Sifu. I think he told me that if you do the form correctly, doesn't it take like 15 minutes or something? Like
Yeah.
the first, like one of the.
I
forms
think about
anyway.
between 3 to 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. So 15, not 15 then.
Yeah, 15 I think is too long. But
yeah, yeah. I don't know why I thought.
Yeah, I can see like the form is really long. Like every Wing Chun forms, it can take you about like a minute or two to complete.
Yeah.
But the Hungara form, between 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
And it's like a lot of movement.
Yeah. Sifu used to go do Hungar stuff on the Wing Chun wooden dummy, but instead of doing like all the fluidy stuff, he would like whack. He would do
It's called like I forgot what it's called, but I think there's like a. I just forgot what it's
I
called.
think a few styles use the wooden dummy. I think doesn't the Shaolin system use the wooden dummy?
Yeah. So there's like a Shaolin wooden dummy. So there's Choi Li Fut dummy.
Okay.
A Choi Li Fut is different version.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So also they have like the Hungar one is it's also like different too. So it's all different dummy, but it's because of the form and all the technique it's make it different.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have also you've trained Shaolin style kung fu, right? Mm-hmm. And you have rank in that, didn't you? Get your black
I got my
sash.
black, I got my black belt in
in.
Shaolin kung fu.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I think that one.
What got you into the Shaolin kung fu?
I was like heard from a friend actually.
Okay.
That I went to college with about the school, and I just started doing research close by my house, so I went to check it out and kind of fall in love with it.
Yeah, I think I've seen it. It's over on it's over by 78th or something.
Yeah, it's in before it's in
Redwood Road, right?
Yeah, before it's in Redwood Road, but right now they moved to South Salt Lake.
Oh, okay.
So it's a pretty good Shaolin style.
Okay.
They have like so many forms. Like I think there's like I couldn't count it all,
Really?
but because it's just so many. There's like empty hand form. There's like animal forms, weapons form. There's a they call it like a chinna. Chinna is like one of those lock. Is it?
Oh no! It stopped recording. I think after 10 minutes.
Oh really?
Dang! Hang on. Let's just see where it ended. Oh, we're having such a good conversation too.
Oh yeah.
I might just use your camera.
Yeah, you can
if
just
that's
use
okay.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's cool, I might just have you. Yeah, look, I'm just running out of storage space. Well, hey, that camera.
So let me. So you want me to use my camera instead?
It's
put
been
it
recording
here.
this whole time, right?
Yeah.
Good.
So
yeah.
I'm just gonna put that camera right here so we can get more.
This conversation's been going so well.
Yeah, it's like a better angle, I think.
That I would rather get the whole conversation on camera. You know, want us to keep going. Yeah, this conversation's going great, man.
Oh, I love these. Let me take these off. That's why I got.
I'm gonna give this back to you.
Okay, just leave it right
And I need to go get a camera again so I can do these interviews properly again. I was hoping it would work with my phone. Like I said, this is my first time, and
have to put something right here.
yeah,
This is much better.
I want both of us in the shot if we can get both of us in it.
Let's see.
Let's rotate it just a bit. Yeah, I want us both in it.
I'll just move right over here a little bit.
Good. That's pretty good.
That's good.
You can do it a tad bit more, maybe towards you.
That's good.
I think a little bit more towards you, because I want my video to be more about you than me. So I want you to be very visible.
That's good.
Perfect. Yeah. You can cut this out if you want, if you edit this.
Okay.
Or if you just want to leave it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter.
So we're just chatting.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. So you got into Wing Chun in, you said it was in 2010?
Yeah.
So when did you get into Shaolin
So
style
Shaolin, I
Kung Fu?
started after I learned Bokator.
Okay.
So Bokator was the second. Shaolin was the third.
Okay.
So let's go back to do Bokator first.
Okay. You did Bokator before any other martial art?
No, I started Wing Chun first.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So Wing Chun was my
Wing
first
Chun,
style.
Bokator, Shaolin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And and after that, that's when I learned some Muay Thai from you and some Jiu-Jitsu from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you get into Bokator? What year?
So Bokator I started my training back in 2015.
Okay.
So that's like I was in, let's see, after I finished my first and second semester of like college,
Yeah.
and that summer break, from learning Wing Chun, I went back to Cambodia to learn Bokator.
Yeah.
And how I found Bokator was, from watching performance or on TV or on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I never know like Cambodia have like
its own martial art.
Yeah, their own martial art, like ancient style. And I thought they only have one style, like they call Pradal Saray or Kun Khmer. That's it. And I saw.
Is there a difference between Pradal Saray and Kun Khmer, or is it the same?
So.
Sorry to go off on a tangent.
So Pradal Saray, it's mean free fighting.
Okay.
The French give that name.
Oh,
you know how like so Muay Thai, they just it's kickboxing, just Thai boxing.
Right.
So they have their own name.
Yeah.
So they just they just barely changed from Pradal Saray to Kun Khmer because they want their own identity.
They wanted their own Khmer
Yeah,
name.
they have a word of like Khmer in there.
Okay.
Instead of like Pradal Saray just a free fighting.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a Khmer style fighting.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's like so. There's example. So this Muay Thai represent like Thailand.
Yeah.
There's Muay Thai Lao. There's represent Laos. And there's Kun Khmer. That's represent
Cambodia.
Kickboxing.
Yeah. Khmer style.
Yeah,
Khmer
Khmer
culture.
style. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Same style, just that's the
just
Cambodian
a different
name.
names.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on. So you found out about
Yeah.
Bokator
So I
just
found
on
out
accident.
Online actually, and I just saw a lot of performance, demonstration on TV, and I started to go on Google. Back like about 10 years ago, there's like rarely have anything about Bokator at all.
Yeah.
But I started doing a lot of YouTube videos, watching there's a guy, shout out to Antonio.
Yeah.
And he was living in Cambodia and started training Bokator, and that's when I get into Bokator, and I kind of saw who Tarot is.
Yeah.
And because she always on the TV and doing our performance.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and I was like, I wanna do this, because I'm Cambodian. I wanna learn Cambodian style, because this is my country. Now I know that we have our own martial arts. I want to go back and just do it.
Yeah.
And
so then you met Tarawat after that?
Yeah, I met Tara after that.
Okay.
So
I didn't know if you knew her before or after you started training. So
I knew her during training.
Okay.
So then we started to make friends and all that. So we get to know each other. And how do I get to it's kind of hard, like when I go back to Cambodia and try to find a Bokator school, it's kind of hard. It's like
there's not very many.
It's not very many back then. Then it's like a coincidence again. I have my family in Cambodia try looking for me, and if we have like a connection, like a family friends.
Okay.
So one of the brothers, that he, it's like a family friends that they just know each other.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my son. It's like a coincidence. So when my godfather took me around and met his mom, and his mom said, "Oh, my son actually is an instructor." And,
really?
Yeah. So that's how like
a Bokator
instructor.
Oh, awesome.
Then she just started giving a phone number, and I started call and say, "Where's your gym at?" And I started going to his training, and that's how I started.
That's
and it's
awesome, dude.
It's all about everything. It's like I feel like it's like a lot of connection somehow. And because my family knew his family, and now we're like really close, and
that's so cool.
Yeah,
man, you got a lot of weird coincidences in your life.
It is.
That's pretty cool.
And that's how like when I go to the training center, that's how I met Tarot, and we started to have that connection.
Okay, very cool. So for people that don't know, Tarawat, she was Cambodia's first female MMA fighter. She was a professional kickboxer as well.
She had a lot of titles, basically.
Lots of titles. She's an actress. Yep. She's been in some...
I feel like she's like a living legend right now. And now she's in the police force, and she doing...
She's an interesting person.
Yeah.
She's so cool.
And when I watch her on TV, I always feel like if she can do it, this in my mind, if she can do it, I can do it too. you know.
Yeah, I'll put a link to Tarawat's YouTube
Yeah.
channel. I think she has a YouTube channel.
She have a YouTube
I'll put a link
channel.
to her YouTube channel in
Yeah.
the description as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in a really, really good martial arts movie called Jailbreak. That was the name of it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Is it still on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone should go watch that.
Yeah.
Go
It's called
watch
Jailbreak
on Netflix.
And you should check out that movie. It's really
I'm just going
good
to rotate
movie.
this slightly just because I want you to a little bit more in the frame. That's it. That's what I want. Yeah. Well, that's really cool that you met her that way. And yeah, she is like a living legend, but when you talk to her, she's so down to earth and cool. Like
she's like a very super cool person, and she's really humble, and she shared like a lot of knowledge and stuff to me, and that's how inspired me to keep training. You know.
Yeah. Well, she's very inspirational.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met her. I believe it was 2017. I think 2016 maybe. Yeah, but anyway, I was in Cambodia, and she was training at A Fighter Gym. Did you ever see that gym?
I never see that gym.
Because, yeah, it went out of business, or at least it changed names, and then the same owner opened up Cambodia Top Team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that used to be A Fighter Gym, but then they changed locations, changed names. I don't really know how business works in Cambodia, so I don't really know what happened. But, yeah, they changed all that.
Yeah.
But at the time, A Fighter Gym was the only MMA gym in the whole country. It was the only, like, if you were an MMA fighter in Cambodia, you trained at A Fighter Gym.
Yeah.
And it was so small. And but I remember Tarawat trained there. And so I wanted to train, so I just stopped in and I met Tarawat. And she was the only person who spoke English. So, of course, I made friends with her really easily because I couldn't even talk to anyone else in the gym.
Right.
And, so that's how I met her. But, yeah, that was right before one of her fights in 1FC.
Is it like her first fight?
No, I think it was like her second or third. I think she had, 3 or 4 fights through 1FC.
Oh, okay.
But I don't remember. I'm going to have to go back and look. But yeah, that's how I met her. Yeah, it's cool. We both met Tarawat through martial arts.
Yeah.
And I used to go on, she and I used to go hang out and go on trips. Like we went to Kep and we went to Siem Reap. And people would stop us because they knew her.
Right.
They'd stop us and they'd start talking to her in Khmer. And I'd be like, what did they say? And she'd say, oh, they recognize me from TV. And it was either somebody who saw her fight or somebody that saw one of her movies. Yeah, she was like a little local celebrity, but you'd never know. Yeah. She was so...
She really humble.
So humble.
Yeah.
Great woman. Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool that you met her through there as well.
Yeah.
How long were you able to train with the Grand Master?
So I never get to train with Grandmaster yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I
Pronounce
haven't.
his name for me again.
His name is Sam Kim Sin.
Yeah, and I have an interview with him that I'll also link in the description as
So
well.
Grandmaster Sam Kim Sin is like one of the Gold Krama Grandmaster of Bokator in Cambodia. So I was always want to go train at his academy if I have times. So but right now I'm training under his disciple, 6th generation Bokator instructor, and
cool.
yeah, it's all like everything is all about connection again. You know, I always want to train under whoever, you know, kind of like the best of the best and stuff.
Yeah.
So I can get the good quality training, like I train with you, you know.
Yeah.
So like jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe we shouldn't be talking about this on the, but have you ever met his son? Apparently everybody hates his son.
I think I met his son once, but at that time, I was only there like really quick in a trip, so I got to meet him, but I didn't get to meet his son at all. So
everybody I've talked to who knows the family, they love Grandmaster but hate his son. So. Hopefully Grandmaster doesn't hear this and get mad.
What is the stories behind that? Why people?
Oh man, I don't want to talk too much garbage. I don't want to talk too badly about him, but yeah, there's just.
I mean, he seems like a great guy. He speaks great English. Like Grandmaster
really?
speaks great English too.
Yeah, mostly people just say that he's arrogant. That's the main thing. That his son is arrogant. Whereas Grandmaster is very humble and very kind. A lot of people say that his son is just.
You know, actually, I sent him like a few message on Messenger and stuff, and he seems like a really nice guy. You know, I mean, like, he's not arrogant to me at all, you know.
Okay.
Sometimes I have like Bokator question and stuff. I just directly like send him a message, ask him a few questions, you know, and he's just like reply me like in a friendly ways, you know.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like him. I've only met him once, the son, because the one time I met him, he talked to me about martial arts, which is I love talking martial arts, and I told him I did jujitsu, and he was like, "Oh, jujitsu's okay." I was like, "What do you mean jujitsu's okay? I could beat the crap out of you with my jujitsu. You couldn't hold a candle to me, kid." But whatever.
Okay.
But no, and then anyway, we don't need to talk about him too much, but Grandmaster's a great guy, and I actually want to go back and train with Grandmaster because he has a situation like where you can live at his gym. You can live at like his it's like more of an outdoor gym. Have you seen it?
I think I saw it on like on social media.
You can kind of see it on the interview.
I mean, it's not like a quality where you can stay, but it's
no. He has like a hammock that you can sleep in.
Yeah,
but
I mean
like
it's
that.
good. I mean it's good enough for you just want to be there just to train and just you doesn't care about have a
shower,
nice place or anything at all. You know, it's just like that's how like they live in back in the old times or old days.
Yeah,
like,
that's how the fighters all used to all live. Yeah.
Because you train more than you sleep. Right?
I hope not.
That's how like the Shaolin monk they spend like 6-8 hours of training, you know.
Wow.
That's why they call like a warrior monk. When I'm training Shaolin, like so the warrior monk like train between like, 6 to 8 hours, sometimes 10 hours. It's like basically it's like their full-time job. They have to get fit.
Okay.
And beside that they have to learn the scripture and they have to learn the chanting and all that stuff. And they have to get into the kitchen and everything is part of like, training. Even like you cleaning the temple is part of your martial art training.
Oh, interesting.
Too. Yeah, because it's like a technique. You know, like when you see Karate Kid, like the 2010.
The wax on, wax off.
Yeah, the wax on, wax off.
Oh
the
Jackie Chan.
Off. Everything is part of that mindset and that teaching you, like that without you knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to train for 8 hours a day.
I don't think like
2 hours a day.
Yeah, I think like 2 or 3 hours is good enough. But like, because we're not like a Shaolin monk, that's why we're not gonna be trained like them. That's why like So here's again. Like,
I'd love to go train at Shaolin though too.
Yeah.
That's on my bucket list. I'd love to go to.
It's
Shaolin
my bucket list
someday.
too. But you're thinking about like you live, like when you train on the Shaolin temple, you have no distraction. But in America, you have family, you have school, you have jobs. Sometimes you skip your
You have
classes.
Netflix.
Yeah, so you cannot able to train like an hour, every day. So there's like there's a classes like Tuesday or every other day.
Yeah.
Instead of like at the Shaolin temple, that's like 7-8 hours every day.
Yeah.
So they have like more quality training instead of in the U.S.
Yeah.
Well,
I would love to go. Yeah. Very high quality. I would still love to go to Shaolin for like a month.
That's how
Just try it.
back in 2015 when I have that quality training when I'm doing Bokator.
Yeah.
I was taking 2 months out. Back then I was still in a college student and I have like a part-time job. I just took it off and I just go train in Cambodia for 2 months. Like I can tell the difference. That 2 months can change your life.
Big time.
Big
Absolutely.
time. Like
yeah.
my body just starts like to shred and just I'm like kind of like
looking
Bruce
fit,
Lee,
looking like little Bruce Lee. There
yeah,
you go,
and,
man.
I feel like I earned my 6-pack just from like just doing Bokator, and I'm kind of like happy with it,
Of course.
Like my body changed,
Yeah. Well, that's why I love going on these trips.
Because you just training all the time, like you don't really do anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you've heard this. Speaking of Shaolin, I've heard that going to the actual Shaolin temple, I've heard that it's actually kind of commercialized, kind of a waste of time for martial artists now.
It is.
But I heard there's tons of like like kung fu temples around Shaolin.
Yeah.
And I had a buddy who actually went and lived in one for a month or two, and he said they charged him like $60 a month
Dang.
to live there, and they gave him food every day and training every day. Yeah, all super, super cheap. Now, he didn't have a nice bed, but he had a cot, and then the food wasn't good, but it was like rice and vegetables.
I think it's like a vegetarian food too.
It was vegetarian, yeah. But still, you know, apparently if you go to Shaolin, it's like a few $100s. They're really expensive at Shaolin because it's so commercialized. Because everyone wants to go there.
They just want to make money and
yeah.
I feel like you're like a tourist when you go there, you know?
So what I would like to do, I'd like to go to Shaolin just to say that I've been there, you know, but then I'd like to go do some real Kung Fu training in like one of the other monasteries that's a lot quieter and a lot more serious and less commercialized. Yeah. So anyway, do you have rank in Bokator? Because they do Kroma. Kroma are like scarves.
Bokator, they have like about like, let me look at the rank. So you have to start from the white. It's like every other martial art. So there's white Kroma. Kroma is mean the scarf. If you guys don't know what it is, so it's like represents like a.
It's like a white belt.
It's like a white belt. Yeah. So there's a white Kroma. From white Kroma you get green. Okay. From green you go to blue.
Okay.
From blue you get to red. From red to brown. Brown to black.
Okay.
And after black you have like 10-degree black belt. And after that's when you finish all that 10-degree. That is a grandmaster rank. So he's a gold Kroma. So that's like one of the highest rank in Bokator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have rank in Bokator?
Yes, I do. So right now I'm in a blue rank. So that's why I'm planning to go back to.
Are you a green Kroma then, or
so
blue? What are you? Right?
We start from like white to green.
Right to white to green. Okay.
Now I got my green to blue.
Okay.
So now I'm ranking to blue.
Oh. Okay.
So if next time if I go train, I'm just gonna be from blue to red.
You know what's interesting? Tarawat, I think she is only a red Kroma. Even though she's like the most popular Bokator practitioner in the world.
Right.
And
so
she's the best.
Let me break it down about Bokator.
Okay.
I was so confused too.
Okay.
When I'm training Bokator. That's why I asked a lot of questions about Bokator to my instructor. So there are a lot of different type of Bokator. It sounds like basically
kind of like there's lots of different styles of karate or kung fu. There's
it's
is that
like
what you're saying?
Karate and taekwondo and stuff like that. So the one that I'm doing Bokator, I'm just trained to earn my rank.
Okay.
To teach. But Tarot, I think she also doing in between. She doing the performance one and also the ranking.
Okay.
So it's both.
Oh, I see.
So
I see what
there's the train to earn the rank to become an instructor, or you just want to do just to performance.
Okay.
And the other one you're just doing for sport.
Okay.
And that's it.
So it's like emphasis what you decide to emphasize, and so she's emphasizing both.
Yes.
Now,
that's why it took her a long time to earn her rank.
Gotcha.
You know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now I've seen Bokator competitions online. So is there like a third branch of Bokator that's more about fighting?
I think they starting to making that in the future.
Well, because Antonio Graceffo said something about that once. He said that he didn't learn any of the Bokator forms. He just learned the techniques. And he's a black Kroma in, I believe, in Bokator.
Oh, okay.
So, that's interesting. So the Grandmaster, I guess the teacher will promote you. He'll promote students differently depending on what they're focused on.
Right.
Is what you're saying.
It's like how when I learning Wing Chun with under Qigong too, you know.
Oh, yeah.
He's kind of like watching you and see what you can do.
Yeah.
And if you're really good enough, that's how he promotes you. He watch you every day of your training.
Yeah.
Instead of you have to you learn all these martial arts and you test it at once, on your last day or something,
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you do everything at once, you might forget here and there. But if you take time, just like watching you daily of your training and how good you are, and just keep showing you remember all these movement. And that's how you get your rank.
So you did Wing Chun for about 5 years before you started Bokator. Do you feel like your Wing Chun helped you learn Bokator better, or supplemented it well, or?
It's helped me a lot. And when I started to do Wing Chun and Bokator, it's a lot of similarity.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Cool.
it's like a lot of similar like between like hand technique and
Okay.
some movement. It's
Okay.
almost pretty close like the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, because Wing Chun doesn't do a lot of kicking, and
So-
Bokator doesn't do a lot of kicking either, does it?
Yeah, so Bokator is more I think it's like more 50-50.
Okay.
So but Wing Chun is they focus on like 70% on your hand movement,
Okay.
30% on your legs movement.
Like
the legs
technique.
techniques is only 8 kicks in the Wing Chun system.
Okay.
But Bokator and like their system is just like 50-50.
Okay.
So that's why like some of the hand movement is so similar.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
And what year did you start getting into the Shaolin?
So Shaolin, the one up I started in 2015.
Okay, so about the same time you started Bokator.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because when I got back to the state, so I couldn't do Bokator anymore. I just have to continue the next arc. So that's when I go to do Shaolin.
Okay.
So I started over there for like I got my black belt in like 2000, I think around COVID times 2020.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it took me like actually like to earn the black belt only take you 2 years.
Okay.
In that Shaolin school to
Okay.
earn your black belt, but it took
Gotcha.
me about 5 years because of work, school here and
Oh,
there.
life,
So
yeah.
yeah,
That's understandable.
so it took me about 5 years to get black
Yeah.
belt. Yeah,
All right, so I'm going to ask you a hard question.
yeah, anything.
Of those three, which one do you think's best? Of those three main styles that you've trained.
So I have my two.
Let me ask you two questions. Which
Yeah.
one is your favorite to train, and which one do you think is the most effective? Like if you had to go get into a real fight.
So I love to practice Wing Chun,
Me too. Love practicing it.
but I feel like online or on internet they say Wing Chun is not the most effective style. You can see all these beautiful movement in movies,
Yeah.
but outside of that,
They're hard to implement in a
it
fight.
might not work.
Yeah.
So, but Bokator is basically the same as Wing Chun. It's close combat,
Okay.
but it's more direct. It's more effective.
Okay. Did you know that
It's really-
Tarawat took her first fight with only Bokator training? I think she told me that she didn't do any Kun Kamai training, and she was just doing Bokator. I think she might have done like a month of Kun Kamai, but I think she had basically done only Bokator. And apparently people online were telling her, Bokator would never work in a fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
So she took a fight and won. Beat up some Kun Kamai chick with her Bokator.
yeah, with her stories, it's really inspired me a lot because a lot of
Yeah,
this
she's very-
criticism,
yeah.
people just talking crap and stuff to her.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not gonna work on the street or blah blah blah. But she had to prove herself.
Yeah.
She got-
in Kun Kamai
Yeah.
and in MMA.
Correct.
In both. She went and wow.
From Bokator training to do Kun Kamai
Yeah.
in the ring, and she won, and she took the next step to MMA to prove that Bokator
In
is
the
work.
cage.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it
pretty
inspire
awesome.
a lot of like nowadays like inspire a lot of young women to go
Yeah.
train Bokator now.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, she like the first Bokator students, and after that she dragged
Yeah.
her friends into it.
Yeah.
So she was like the first one. That's why she's so popular, because of her stories and her training.
Yeah.
To inspire the next generation.
Yeah.
If she can do it, the next young girl can do it too.
Yeah. Pretty amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, she's super like a living legend right there.
So you think Wing Chun is one of your most favorite to train, but
Yes.
you think Bokator might be the most effective of those three for an
Correct.
actual fight?
Correct.
Okay.
Even like I'm learning Shaolin, so thinking about Shaolin, all the movement is beautiful.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I'm always questioning myself, is this gonna work?
Mm-hmm.
Even like they have the application showing you all the steps and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there's a lot of missing piece,
Mm-hmm.
because
I
like
see.
nowadays everything comes directing you with just street fight, anything. Your Shaolin not gonna help you.
Oh, okay.
But with Bokator, it can help you with your stances.
Yeah.
It's help you guarding yourself. But Wing Chun, if you lift your arm like this to protect yourself, you're probably gonna get hit a lot.
Can you get hit in the nose,
It's-
punched right in the face?
Yes, correct. So
Yeah. Okay. Do you have you ever thought of taking a fight an amateur MMA or kickboxing
I
fight?
thought of it. I want to do like a kickboxing tournament and stuff like that. You know.
From the training you've done, I bet you could learn kickboxing really easily.
Yeah.
I bet you could shift it into kickboxing and do like an amateur kickboxing match pretty easily.
Correct. Yeah.
That'd be a fun thing. We should prep you for a fight one of these days.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm really
when you're
down
not so
to it.
busy with like work and school and stuff.
Because I always have, you know, everybody have a bucket list that what they want to do.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I want to do. You know.
Yeah.
So I want to test myself. You know, not try to prove it. I'm like the best or anything. I just want to get into the ring. I just want to try it out. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just prep me for it.
You might end up loving it. Like that's why I did jiu-jitsu, just to try it, and now I've had over 200 jiu-jitsu matches. So you might try it and love it.
Yeah.
So, but that would be fun to get you into that.
Of course.
You know, I bet Tarawat would be so proud of you if you took a fight in a ring. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be dope. Oh, I was gonna ask you something else. Oh yeah, just a for fun question.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say we could take one of the top instructors in the world and just send you to train with them full time for a year. What style would you choose? It doesn't even have to be the 3 that you normally train.
Okay, so
if I could just say, go pick any style and go train with a master for a year.
So
all expenses paid, everything. Where would you go?
I have that in mind.
Yeah.
So I've been training a lot of Shaolin branches a lot. So there's like a northern style, southern style. I want to train Wu-Tang style.
Okay.
That's more like internal. So because I'm always doing
like Qigong sort of stuff.
Yes. So Wu-Tang is basically it's more like internals like Tai Chi. There's like Xingyi, Bagua, and all that.
Yeah.
So
you really like Chinese styles of martial arts.
Yeah, because when you're thinking about it, when I do a lot of my research, Taekwondo, some of their branches came from Shaolin style. Karate is.
I've heard that about karate too.
It's like a white crane.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. So because they want to focus on like they break it off, so they want to make it like a small system. They just want to focus on that, you know.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about like, Bokator in Shaolin, it's almost like similarity. It's like almost the same.
Really? Yes. Go on. I have a comment about that, but keep talking.
So let me explain. So since I'm learning Bokator and Shaolin the same thing, same time or whatever. So Bokator have empty hand forms, animal forms, weapons, grappling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu style.
Yeah, submissions,
Yeah, submission and everything is like a complete system.
Yeah.
Shaolin Kung Fu is almost the same thing.
Okay.
empty hands. They call chinas, like self-defense technique, locking joint and stuff. And also they have like weapons. They have wrestling. They have they call it like Santa. It's like kickboxing and stuff too. Yeah. So you're thinking about it. It's like it's almost like 50-50.
Yeah.
Just one is the Cambodian version and one is the Chinese version.
Okay.
And all these two, it came from India influence.
I've heard that too. Yeah. This is something that Sifu told me, Seagung Smith, and I don't know how true this is, but he told me that it was a kung fu practitioner in China that moved down to Southeast Asia, and that his kung fu turned into Muay Baran and Bokator, and then Muay Baran and Bokator turned into Kun Khmer, Muay Thai.
Yeah. So there's a lot of connections.
Yeah, he says it can be traced back, and I haven't researched that,
because
so I don't know,
I
but
think,
that's what he told me.
You know, like you're thinking about like China is like 5,000 years old.
Old country, yeah.
There's a lot of like researcher, and there's a lot of explorer. So we just do a lot of trading stuff. So of course they exchange a lot of knowledge. Sometimes we get a lot of because of Cambodia, been to the Khmer Rouge, the killing field. A lot of our documents been burned or been lost. Yeah. So we have some document from the French and from the Chinese that they keep the record for us, that they have everything. Also, this is to tell us the history of the story of it. You know.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So even like Shaolin. So they say like the monk from the Indian monk traveled.
Bodhidharma, is that his name?
Yeah, that's his name. Traveled to China to teach kung fu or teach 49 posture forms.
Right.
That then the Shaolin monks are unfit and all that. But actually, there's a lot of like in China. You're thinking about it's so big that there's a lot of small like provinces, region, and a lot of different village. They have their own style already. So, but they just want to give a credit to the Indian monk that traveled to Shaolin Temple. That they just basically spread the knowledge and something like that they are just to give a credit to the Indian monk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just going back to the question, if you
Yeah.
could go train somewhere, all expenses paid, train wherever, you think it would be the Shaolin style?
The
Is that what
Wudang
you're-
style.
The Wudang. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you could go to a second place and train for a year, it would be jiu-jitsu with me, right?
Correct. Because I really
Just
into
kidding.
jiu-jitsu too, because sometimes you cannot fight standing all
You
the
haven't
time.
done much grappling, right? Just a little bit of.
Yeah,
just
but
a little bit
since
of
I start
jiu-jitsu.
training with you, I just start falling in love with it.
Yeah, it's a really fun
Yeah,
style.
because
I love jiu-jitsu.
sometimes when you're doing all these movement, just back and forth, left and
Yeah.
right. But when you're doing jiu-jitsu, you're just on the ground. You're just
Yeah.
not try to win or anything. You're just practicing.
Now, sometimes before and after class, you used to use your, was it called rope and dart? You used to use your rope and dart thing. What's that called?
The rope dart.
The rope dart, yeah.
Yeah, the one that I just swinging around.
Yeah, and you have some other toys as well. Did that all
Yes.
come from the Shaolin
Yes,
school?
those are come from the Shaolin style.
Dude, that stuff is so fun.
Yeah. So like in the Shaolin style, they have so many unique weapons.
Yeah.
I think they have like 18 weapon set.
How many forms did you have to learn to get your black belt?
Let me think. To get my black belt in that Shaolin school,
Yeah, well, from beginning to end, how
Oh.
many forms have they made you learn over at the Shaolin place?
to learn to get my black belt.
Yeah, like from day one till black belt. How many forms did you have to learn
So
in the Shaolin school?
when I count all of it together, between 22 to 24 forms. That's including
Wow.
empty hands, self defense. They call Chun, and also their animal forms. There's weapons.
And weapons forms.
Yeah, but they have each set. So like example, you want to learn from white to yellow. You have to learn one weapons
Okay.
techniques, one empty hand forms, and you have to learn some basic self defense
Yeah.
technique, and also like sparring technique or something like that. And
Right.
then you have to learn the Chun, the joint locks and all of that. So
Chinna means like submissions, joint locks, stuff
yeah,
like that. Okay.
submission, joint locks.
Do you speak any Chinese?
I can.
I studied it for like a year. I know a few words.
So I used to learn Chinese back in Cambodia before I moved to
Lots
the
of
States.
Chinese speakers there.
Yeah, so I can still speak and understand some basic, but not really
Yeah.
so much because since I live in the city, I don't really.
Yeah.
Speak a lot
Were
of
you
Chinese.
born in Cambodia or were you born here?
I was born in Cambodia.
Okay.
Then I moved to the state back in 2006.
Oh, okay. How old were you in 2006?
I was 12 years old.
Oh,
Yeah,
you came here when you were okay.
yeah,
And that must have been tough. Did you speak English when you got here?
yeah. I
you
learned. I
did,
learned.
okay.
I learned English back in Cambodia before
Okay.
I came here.
Still, that must have been tough
Yeah,
because a lot of kids are complete jerks.
Yeah,
complete
I mean,
assholes.
it's kind of hard
That
at
must have
first.
been way hard coming here as a
But,
12-year-old.
Because I already learned English in Cambodia, but when I moved here,
Yeah.
it's not so difficult for me. But it's just difficult for me just because of the accent.
Okay.
But through the year, I just keep trying to improve myself all the time to get
yeah.
better and better, so
Yeah.
people can understand me more.
Yeah, well, your English is perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
Everyone's gonna.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you've been here for a long time, so that's cool.
But I still, I don't really speak a lot of Chinese, but I still speak my dialect of
Yeah.
Chinese more than the basic Mandarins.
Your dialect? What do you mean?
So dialect, so in China, there's a lot of provinces that have their own dialect. You know how like
Right.
in America, there's a southern accent and a northern
Oh,
accent.
I see what you're saying.
So-
yeah.
This is like a complete different dialect. It's just like, you speak Chinese, but just like a different dialect.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can understand each other.